All right. This is my first time doing this. So I'm going to see how this goes. This is so fascinating. This is so fun. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I'm doing this through Zoom and I'm trying to see how I can see participants. So this is recording and just figuring out the whole layout. YouTube has changed everything. Wow. This is fascinating. All right, we've got the moderation, and I'm able to do this through Zoom. How exciting. Okay, we just finished the monthly quantum healing webinar, the Zodiac Series, I think, based on Gemini. And it was so exciting. So thank you to everyone who was live with me. I wanted to come on here afterwards. I usually do a recorded vlog of what we talked about and what's going on. And I show the light language codes usually after. But I wanted to come on live and share with you everything from the webinar on a live. And it's happening. This is so exciting. So I wanted to get into what's going on right now with moving towards the solstice gateway, which happens June 21st, June 22nd. The solstice gateway is one of the most powerful gateways in the year. And right now we are in the solstice portal. It is really powerful. And a lot of people are sharing with me that they are experiencing a lot of exciting changes. There's a lot of grieving going on. There are a lot of upgrades that are happening. People are detoxing. And also something to note is that people's animals, their pets, are also going through detoxing. I have 2 cats, Moon and Pluto. They are definitely feeling a huge shift. They're very tired and they are kind of laying around and having an issue with energy. It has gotten really hot here in my area. I'm in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, and I have a fan on just to try to help me to stay cool. It got hot fast, but I know that through a lot of weather modification techniques that there is an extreme cold front that is going on in the north of North America. So whatever area that you're in, if you want to let me know in the comments, if you're watching this, what area that you're in and what's going on for you in your area, let me know. There's so many changes, so many shifts, and the solar energy that's coming through right now is really intense. And the sun has definitely changed. It is like I'm looking outside my window right now, and we don't have any chemtrails in the sky today, which is amazing. And it feels like such a wonderful gift. We can actually see the blue skies, and it is really intense sun. And I love the sun, but I can't be out in it as much as I usually do like to go out in it because it's really much more of a white, light, bright white frequency. It's really, really intense. So it's a time to relax. Make sure you get a lot of fluid, no matter whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. This is a time to make sure that you hydrate properly. That is key when we are moving towards the solstice gateway. And this is for both hemispheres. This is if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're moving towards the winter solstice, same thing. It's really intense. If you're in the northern hemisphere, which the majority of us as humans are, then it's going to be warmer for us. The sun is going to be more intense because obviously the planet is tilted towards the sun in the northern hemisphere. But it's a really pivotal time of shift. And since this is 2025, which is a 9-year, and we are in endings, and everything that we've known up to this point, it's collapsing, it's completing. Something that we just talked about in the Quantum Healing Monthly webinar is the inner child's attachment to the old. There's a lot of grieving that is going on with the inner child, with letting go of the world that we know. And this is something that we're really dealing with right now on the planet, with the majority of humans wanting to stay in the same system that they know. So people are fighting for the public school system. People are still fighting for the political system. People are fighting for the economic system. And I want to share, I am not an advocate for CBDCs, central bank digital currency. I'm not an advocate for the same political system that we have. I truly feel that we are done with having dictators and overlords. I truly believe that it's time for us to let go of a patriarchal system. That's all collapsing. The new systems are definitely here. The new systems are definitely in place in the energetic grid, in the template on the planet, and in our own electromagnetic field grids and templates. It's here. It's just about letting go of the old, letting go of the old programming so that we can see and feel and know and hear the new information. We're not going to be able to recognize the new templates if the inner child is fighting for the old. That's a big theme that's going on right now with humanity. And I have a feeling you're feeling that if you're watching this. So those of us that are on the path of higher consciousness and spiritual awakening, and if you're watching my channel, that's probably you, we are in the transitional phase, but the inner child is still fighting to hold on to what it knows, because the inner child will always hold on to what it's comfortable with and what it's familiar with, even if it's toxic and detrimental to us. And we need to go into our inner child, which we just did on the webinar. We need to go into our inner child. We need to hear first what our inner child has to say. It's important that the inner child is heard, because this is the process of not only making peace and understanding your inner child, but also integrating your inner child back into your heart center. And then we need to tell our inner child that we're safe and that we're changing everything because life has changed, that we're changing the old programming. And then we need to get the inner child into the heart center so that we can step forward into the new life. So I wanted to share that with you, that this is not only just came up in this month's quantum healing webinar, but this is also what's been going on in my sessions, is that a lot of people are coming to me for sessions with conflict, this inner conflict of, I know I need to take the next steps in my life in order to do the work I came here to do, to make the life that I want. I'm looking for community. I'm looking for my healthy partner. I need a better job. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I can't get forward. Something's got to give. I need a break. Universe has got to give me a break. I'm hearing that often. This is something that I have also been going through within my own life. My world is also having a big shift. Jason Curling, you're welcome, Jason. Thanks for tuning in. And it's true. It's absolutely true. So we're all in this together. Something that's been coming up in my quantum healing sessions and in my energy healing sessions, I would say this entire year since January, is the inner child's resistance to all of the new life. And what it feels like is that, well, I can't see what's coming in. I want a new partner. Where is this new partner? Or I need a new job. I need it right now. Where is it? I need to move. I need my community. What I'm doing right now is not working for me. Living with my family or living in the community that I have isn't working for me, but I'm not seeing what's next. The reason why we don't see what's next is because we're still in an old frequency. So if you're still holding on in your inner child to the third density frequency, the third dimension, you're not going to be able to see the next frequency, which is a transitional frequency, the fourth dimension. You're not going to be able to see that when you're still in an old frequency. It literally takes letting go and trusting, and it takes doing the inner child work, breath, pause, tuning into the inner child. What does the inner child want? What is it telling you? And then assuring the inner child, it's okay. We've got this. We're secure. We're grounded. Change is here. And it's time for us to step into it together. This also takes a level of faith. It takes a level of believing in a higher power. It's really essential. Well, there's a comment. Jason Curling, wow, two biggest issue, twin flame and job. Yes, Jason, so many are going through this right now. So many. And for those of us that are on the path of higher consciousness and spiritual awakening, we have new fifth density and higher codes that are already in our field. They've already been downloaded. Just as soon as we entered the June solstice portal, moving towards the June gateway, those codes were brought into our field. And then you may have noticed that suddenly there's an intensity going on in your world, and suddenly you feel like this isn't working for me anymore. My job is not working for me. If you have a relationship that's not supporting you in the work that you came here to do, then that is not working for you. You're looking for a better place to live. Your diet's not working for you. Your body doesn't feel good anymore. All of these things are happening because the new fifth density templates have already been integrated into your field. It's now about doing the inner child healing in order to release the third density patriarchal programming and to allow the fifth density grid to come into your cells, so that then you can create that world that you want to. Because remember, everything that we want is within us. Everything without us is a holographic expression of what's going on within us. All of this is literally a holographic projection from the 7 main chakras, crown to root. They're literally like little projectors that literally project outward everything that's in your holographic field. Yes, this density that we're perceiving is mental, it's holographic. Quantum healing really shows us this in all of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sessions that I've given over the years. That's one of the biggest questions that my clients have asked. It's also a big question that I have asked their higher selves, their oversoul, their guides, and I've asked it in my own sessions. I've had so many of my own sessions, and I've asked, is this universe that we see, is this third density, is this mental? Is this a hologram? And the answer is consistently, yes, it is. It's an experiential hologram. We are the creators of this. So, in this solstice portal leading to the solstice gateway on June 21st and 22nd, this is a time now to allow the grieving to come through, because grieving, number one, grieving is a human superpower. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes us different from any other species that are non-human. Like I was sharing with one of the participants on the webinar we just had, we said, and she was grieving and her grief was so beautiful. And I said, your grieving is so beautiful. And I said, this is what makes us different than the reptilians. And there's nothing wrong with the reptilians. They are who they are. They're created to be a mental body expression, consciousness of source. But what makes us so beautiful and so unique is that we have a mental body and we have an emotional body. And when you allow your emotions to express, remember, emotions are energy in motion. You have to allow your emotions to flow in order to receive the data codes in the emotions. That's information for you. That's your own knowledge. So this is a time right now where we're going to be experiencing grieving. It also aligns with the astrology chart. I'm not going to specifically go into the astrology chart right now because we would be on here for a really long time and I don't have a lot of time to be live. But right now, with the planetary alignments, there is so much information coming in, and we need to allow the inner child to grieving the old. And when you're grieving, you're also grieving for all of your other lives. Remember, everything is simultaneous. There is no linear line with time. It's a loop, but all your other lives are happening simultaneously along with this life. So we grieve. That allows us to keep the energy flowing, energy in motion. Then we start to get our information more. Then we start to connect with all of these other lifetimes that we are experiencing. Then we can start to receive the information from the higher self. And then we can get more information from the oversoul container. The higher selves are on branches that are all on these frequency branches under an oversoul container. And once you tap into the information from the oversoul, then you can really get more information. The higher self has a lot of information, but we really want to go to the oversoul. And we want to align with that information as we come into the solstice gateway. It's going to expand our bandwidth, our capacity to hold more information. And we're here for that information to live it and experience it. That's what creates our knowing, our gnosis. That's what we're all here for. Everybody here on the path of higher consciousness and spiritual awakening is here to offer your individual gnosis, your individual knowledge to others in order to help them to let go of old frequencies, old density, and for them to step into their heart and then offer that to others as well. We are here as the original mirrors. We are here as the lighthouse, the way shower. This is so essential that we go through this process of stop, breathe, feel through the heart center. And if you can't feel your heart center, you're going to listen to your inner child, which is in the mind. Listen to your inner child. Let your inner child grieve. Let your inner child speak everything it needs to speak to you. Hear it. Validate it. What your inner child is experiencing is completely valid. It's a part of your experience. And then assure the inner child, we've got this, you're safe, and bring your inner child into your heart, and more knowledge is going to come on board into your cells that is accessible to you. I wanted to share that with you because the more conscious we are as we go towards the solstice gateway, the more we're going to relax, the more we're going to bring in our new life and all of the new experiences. We're going to get more inspired. We're going to feel more fulfilled. We're going to feel more satisfied, and we're going to get the community that we are looking for. We're all looking for community. Everybody on the path of higher consciousness and spiritual awakening is looking for healthy community. Everybody who's on the higher path of higher consciousness, who's not in healthy partnership, is looking for that healthy partner. Everybody I'm talking with is looking for that healthy partner. We are. So I want to share with you the light language codes, the sigil from today's quantum healing webinar, the Zodiac Series, I think, which is Gemini. I always start with the gratitude so that I can open up and receive. And my gratitude is for mirroring to learn, which is what Gemini is about. Here is, oops, let me get that squared up. There we go. Here is the sigil. This is Syrian and ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective light language. As you look at it, it helps you to awaken dormant crystalline cells. And I will read as best as I can the light language, the written light language. Ech elo, transcend duality into oneness through experience, full immersion, the twins mirrors. Allah nechach niach hoch. And Fatima, hello to you, Fatima. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comments for anybody who is live with me. Let me know if you have any written light language, even if you maybe think that it's doodling. It's not, it never is doodling. Let me know if you've got any written light language or spoken, toned, sung, or movement light language. Light language, the language of light, it expresses itself in a multitude of ways. My light language, it came on board from the time I was born. I was channeling light language, spoken and toned and sound light language as an infant in my sleep. And it definitely freaked out my family. And then it became very movement focused for me when I was a little girl. And it moved into full-on movement light language when I became a teenager. And I didn't start writing sigils until 2020, after I had my first Beyond Quantum Healing BQH session with my colleague and the creator of BQH, Candace Crock-Goldman of quantumhealers.com. Fatima, I heard twins. I am a twin, so I'm on a twin soul journey, though I'm detached from the external twin. I just see it as a vehicle for spiritual awakening now. That's amazing. And yeah, I feel, Fatima, that that's really important to see it as a vehicle for spiritual awakening, because it really is. But the importance of with twins is that it's a mirroring back to us to show us a part of ourself that perhaps we don't want to look at internally. And so we need to see an external mirror of that aspect of ourselves. And it's usually shadow, so that we can. I have several twin souls, twin flames, we call it twin flame, that are actually in physical form. And it has been an incredible and very challenging and very difficult journey with both of them. And actually the three of us have been in the same physical space one time many years ago. It was very, very interesting. One of them knows that we are twin souls. We're what's called twin rays. The other one doesn't really know and is not interested in knowing about that. And what I learned through my relationship with these two twin rays is that it's really about myself and learning to love that aspect of myself. And they're on their own journey, even though we're all under the same higher self container. They're on their own journey. And as long as I'm doing my work, I'm doing my inner work, and I love them regardless of how difficult the relationship is. And it is. Twin soul, twin flame, physical relationships are really, really challenging. They're the hardest you can have. Jason, do you have light codes that will help with this? Thanks. Oh, good. That's wonderful that you have light codes. That's amazing, Jason. I'm going to share a light language transmission. It's coming in. I can feel it. Just be open to receive in your heart. Let's take 3 slow, deep breaths through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just be open to receive. O sotre akia nu jutre ikia nara to jutre ea. A ahea taru shukuro o ea niara ate ea ku o so uto o oya ke ea nyada. Sokora ea ta ea a husho ia satari ikia aya. Ana etia u jatira akia aha akara eti jutoro oya. I atatia akara ete e shikira etiara atu u jotoria hania. Utuku utu u jutoro itia akara inira jutoro iata. Turu irata iratu uru turuko. Sotoro uturi iata ia hakari iatare iata. Unu utia shikari ia na ate kara ete uku uru turu shuturu ia hania aka. Era atara uto uku shukura ea ata era aka e. Ho oya ea atara oya rea uru turuko unuru yatere ikira uturuto oya. O ya tara inuruko hoya nere etia ukoro uto shatri etete. E esatari ekia atara ea suturu ushuturi ikiara. Aha ete ekia atara ete eshe. Akuru uturu uti e nera ea uturu. Take a deep breath. Now, it's really important when receiving the language of light that you drink plenty of really healthy water. I recommend structured water like spring water. If you have a well on land, well water from the ground. And if you don't, make sure that you put minerals into filtered water because it doesn't have any minerals. You really need the minerals. And that you breathe, allow any grieving to happen that comes up, anything that happens to your body. Because the language of light, it activates the dormant crystalline DNA in our cells, what science calls junk DNA. It's not junk, it's actually our higher frequency. And the language of light will activate your own light language. So I'm going to read the comments here before we're done. Jason, thank you deeply. Appreciate it. Of course, Jason, thanks for so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And Fatima, thank you very much. You're so welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And for the solstice portal coming up to the solstice gateway, June 21st, 22nd, that is literally an absolutely essential 2 days. If you can, take time to be in nature, take time to walk and to ground, and set your intention. Focus on what you want, as if you have it, of course. If you want that partner, hi, Sarah. If you want that partner, Jason, you're talking about your biggest issues, your twin flame. That twin flame is within you. And talk with your twin flame within you as if they are a physical person with you. I talk to my twin flame every day, all the time. And he's in my world already. And it's a beautiful relationship. So we're living in the way that we want our life to be. And take big chances. This is the time to take those big chances. Open up your heart and step out into the world and offer who you are to people, knowing when you're living from your heart that this is exactly what you're supposed to do, and you're at the right place at the right time, and you are literally with the people you're supposed to be. Jason, full moon in my rising sign Sag. Oh, your rising sign is Sag? Is your moon also in Sag? The full moon is on Wednesday. Yes, okay. The full moon is on Wednesday, and actually my solar return is this Wednesday, June 11th. It's my own birthday. So that's a full moon day, and I was actually born in my year that was the day after the full moon. I am a just literally hours post full moon baby. Yes, Sarah, your moon is in Sag. I know it is. So in Vedic astrology, my moon is in Sag. No moon sign Cancer. Oh, your moon's in Cancer with Sag rising, Jason. Got it. So you're really connected to the maternal and the mother. That's really beautiful. And with your Sag rising sign, you need to speak your truth, but from emotional security. And you're a Leo sun. I'm guessing that's what you mean. That's wonderful. That's amazing. Yes. So you're a double fire sign with a very sensitive moon, but it's in its home placement. So that deep, nurturing maternal connection and knowing how to nurture yourself. So yes, for you being a Leo sun, time outside in the sun, time in nature, and allowing yourself to emote. So maybe being out in the sun near water for your moon in Cancer, and eventually stepping into your role as the teacher, because your Sag rising is the teacher. And the rising sign is the higher self. That is the part of us that we grow into, and we allow ourselves to come into it and step into it. And you don't have to wait until you're later in life. You can start to do that no matter where you're at in your life. So thank you so much. If anybody has any other questions or comments, post it now. So I'm going to go, and I still have more online work to do. I've got to send the living recording of the monthly quantum healing session out to those who donated. If you are interested in the monthly quantum healing webinar, they're donation based. You can pay what you can or pay what you feel the webinar is worth. No amount is too small or too large. We're in the Zodiac Series now. So for July, it's going to be on I feel and Cancer and the water element. And you don't have to have done any prior webinars to join us for the first time. If you want to know more about the webinars, you're going to go to my website, sonyawilderwellness.com, and you're going to DM me to get on my mailing list. I only send out a mailing list, or I only send out a newsletter once a month. That's it. And that's where I announce the monthly webinar. So get on that. Thank you. You're welcome for all the info. Yes, Sarah, thanks for being on the webinar. It was amazing. It always is. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this. I'll start doing these more. I think this is a really wonderful way to connect with everybody and to share what's going on with the world right now. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful moment wherever you're at in the world.